Hi guys, you're more attractive than you think when you're on semen retention. Well, that's the theme for today, guys. Your internal self-esteem becomes so stable because you feel the energy emanating from within you. You have a state of internal comfort and you don't care about how good you look externally. You are not trying to seek approval from others. You are not bothered about what others think of you. You have a strong inner energy, an inner core, an energy that rises from within. For example, you walk into a store and there is a beautiful woman there. And suddenly they stop and look at you. And you just feel awkward because they are looking at you. You want to quickly pass by them because it makes you uncomfortable that the girls are stopping and looking at you. You catch their female gaze. And they sense your significance because you are not going to stop and flirt, to playfully interact with them like most guys do. But guys, there is another moment when you have not reached a stable plateau in semen retention yet. There is a moment when you're kind of holding yourself back artificially. In other words, you're artificially abstaining. You see sexy women and you have strong sexual desire. There is a strong sexual tension between you and one of the women. You restrain yourself and it takes a lot of effort. And there is a stage, guys, when you see sexy women but you don't have a strong sexual desire. And there is no strong sexual tension either. And you feel comfortable in this state because you understand that you can stay in this state for as long as you want. And you feel comfortable in this state, while in a state of sexual tension, you feel yourself uncomfortable. That is the plateau you need to reach in semen retention, because semen retention, guys, gives a very important quality. And that quality is called self-sufficiency. You enjoy life, you enjoy being who you are. You enjoy not needing anyone. You don't need anyone to be happy. This is, guys, the best condition. Because the problem for most people is that they lack self-sufficiency. They want to find someone else. And being in a relationship with that person brings them happiness, gives them a stable positive boost, a good mood. For these people, their happiness depends on external factors such as prosperity, finances, and so on. But try to be happy without all of that. Try to be happy without bank accounts, without a high income. And this is what abstinence gives us, guys. The thing is, this is a genuine goal. Because when you practice semen retention, you don't need a lot of money to spend on yourself. Why do people want to earn a lot? Because they want to attract opposite sex. Because they want to create families, raise children. All of these requires money. That's why you have to earn a lot. You have to have a status, income, a position in the society. Well, when you practice semen retention, you don't need to make grand plans on how to attract a mate. You already have an entire universe inside you, and you are just happy to be who you are, here and now. And that's good, you know, it's one of the reasons. I was trying to build a career and chase social recognition and status, participating in these endless rat races to attract an attractive female, because my internal programming ingrained in me from the very birth made me do it. You constantly have to sacrifice yourself to get social recognition. You have to chase social status to achieve some level of respect in the society. And in the end, it feels like you're about to reach your goal. And then that goal slips away from you in this way or other. Either you achieve the goal and realize it wasn't worth the effort you put into it, or after reaching the goal, you're completely exhausted and drained of your energy. These pursuits of validation, where you project yourself, where you try to present yourself in a certain way to others, constantly thinking about the impression you made on others, what women thought of you, how you appeared in their eyes, all that crazy stuff in your mind. You have to project yourself as someone cheerful and successful, pretending to be someone you are not. Your mind is constantly occupied with all that nonsense. You think that you are attracting them, but in reality, there are mutual manipulations, an interplay of energy like yin and yang. And you constantly have to compete with someone, you have to be on the top to attract others. Matrix, guys, attracting women at first seems sweet as honey, and then you realize that it is just a vampirism. You have been energetically sucked dry. For that taste of honey, for relationship with women, you pay the high price with your time, attention, finances, and health certainly. It's all over, and you have to start all over again, seeking new relationships. It's a vicious circle. You can't break free from it because you have a heavy anchor chain keeping you. A kind of thick, powerful chain that keeps an aircraft carrier on anchor, you know. And this chain holds you and makes you sacrifice your valuable time to get sexual pleasure from a woman. And if you analyze how strong that pleasure is, you realize that in the moment of intimacy with a woman, you don't really derive much pleasure from it. It's kinda more like anticipation, and when it actually happens, it is all mundane and tasteless. And then you feel like you have been fooled, and you realize that it was the Matrix. It imposes you these wishes. It implanted something in you, you chased after it, but ended up in investing more than you gained in the end. A sense of emptiness arises. But not everyone feels this. And I am not judging those who don't feel this. I have found my own path to live in a way that does not have this unpleasant aftermath of feeling like someone took advantage of you. Just like Buddha, he found the path to happiness. He simply understood that happiness is within us, everything is inside us. And sex makes us to struggle hard to find happiness outside of us, to build happiness with another person. And that someone turns out to be not who you were looking for. And problems arise, and you start looking for someone else. And life becomes a cycle of these rat races, and in the end you are exhausted and you realize that it did not lead to anything good. It was just a waste of time. That's why semen retention is what you need. It's what is inside you. It gives you the drive for life. Guys, you need to understand your motive correctly, why you are abstaining. It is the energy flowing from within you. And if you do something wrong, it starts to destroy you. You start to think that you are not needed by anyone, that you are lonely, and similar thoughts that make you feel like a failure. And guys, if those thoughts come, it means you are doing something wrong in your practice. It means you need to correctly direct your inner energy. Otherwise it will go in the wrong direction and start causing problems. Here you go. So guys, as I've mentioned before, you need to direct and sublimate it. Then everything becomes great for you. In other words, when God helps you, you become more attractive to people. Just don't try to take advantage of this situation. Don't try to immediately gain some profit of it and start acting to attract women again after have gained this power, because you'll end up in the same trap. Attractive women will drain your energy again, and you'll find yourself back where you started, guys. So there is no point to resort yourself. You simply feel the progress of your inner state, your inner energy, your inner consciousness growing and expanding. Your consciousness transforms, and you reach new levels of understanding the reality. And you are grateful to the Creator for guiding you through this experience. And then there is this point that we all, of course, want joy and happy state. So sex brings a certain joy, and if you start analyzing your life, why you ended up in certain unpleasant situations, and if you start rewinding events, digging into yourself, your motives, why certain things happened in your life, you'll understand that the main cause of problems in your life is sex, guys. Because somewhere you wanted to present yourself in a better light than you actually are, and got into trouble. Or somewhere you tried to establish your authority and got into arguments with somebody, and created problems for yourself. But any reason for action in this world is the desire for sex. You want to achieve a certain status in society. You want to earn a lot of money, and why do you want to do that? To enhance your status, to attract women, to engage in sex with them, to create a family, to raise children. It's all connected to sex, guys. It's all a diversion of significant amount of energy, a distraction from your true essence. What is sex, guys? Sex is attachment to the body. Sex tells you, you are this body. All this is limited temporary consciousness, heavily restricted by temporary material boundaries, guys. When you have experience of expanded consciousness that exists beyond these temporary material boundaries, your perception completely changes and it becomes easier for you to control everything, easier to control sexual energy. You see, sexual orgasm is just a small part of the iceberg. There is a huge part of the iceberg hidden from your eyes, and you start seeing it when you can control sexual energy. So all these distractions are not worth your attention. The real life, guys, is about control and abstinence, because true freedom begins with an abstinence. Well, that's my message for today. Thank you all. Thank God. Bye.